There are some lies in our science books. Taught it for 15 years. Even though I'm not teaching it anymore, I still like to study. It's so many neat things to learn. We're going to cover some of that tonight.
Perception is being managed. We are being steered and guided by a hidden hand.
The whole world has been duped by the media that is not real.
Smart thinking, possible time traveler, smart thinking.
That night, boom, contact memory.
And then Alex, if you don't agree, you'll be sent to a re-education camp.
Just because I'm old doesn't mean I've lost my touch with the ladies.
A lot of people here tonight felt like they lost. You know why?
Now, experts are suggesting that we're in a golden age of shape-shifting reptilian sightings. Now, why is that?
I was, and still am, a huge conspiracy guy. I literally ran out of new tin hat topics to research.
It was most definitely not capable of melting steel.
Then I would be a crackpot if I thought that was the case.
Wait, how does this fucking thing go? Alright, I know how it goes. Just cool your jets. Welcome to the Hypothetical Institute, a podcast about conspiracies.
My name is Luke.
I'm Salty.
I'm Cam. What are you doing to my levels?
Just adjust your levels, buddy.
Alright, what if I don't maintain that energy throughout the rest of the podcast?
Is that you?
Let me make you a promise.
Was that your energy? Was that an attempt at energy?
Oh, jeez. Jeez, Louise.
We'll fix it in post. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
What's
up?
Yeah, what's going on? How are you?
Yeah, good.
Salty?
Yeah, good.
All right.
Still, my mouth is still a little bit of flame from the hot sauce that you just gave me.
I give you good hot sauce.
Yeah. It was good hot sauce.
No complaints.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a complaint. It wasn't a flame in a delightful, tasty way.
No, it was delicious. I'm just saying, my mouth feels like it's burning.
I mean, was that hot? Salty, you had some?
Good initial heat, but it mellowed out pretty good.
Before we get into anything, we'd like to thank our Patreon people, but especially Tammy, our Cook to $33 sponsor.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
All right. Today, we're going to be discussing some topics near and dear to Robbo's heart. 1080.
Yep. 1080 poisoning in New Zealand.
Yep.
And Durries.
Yeah, two topics that, I don't know, when I lived in New Zealand, I smoked durries.
Yep.
And 1080 poisonings there.
Yeah.
Where do we want to start?
Let's start with 1080.
All right.
What is 1080? What's it supposed to kill? Possums?
Yeah, 1080 is a kind of
rabbits.
It's a pest killer.
Pest killer, yeah. It's a poison synthesized from a plant. I think it's an Australian plant. Used in different levels around the world. It's used quite a bit in Australia as well. Tasmania used it to kill off some foxes.
It was a controversial topic when I was living in Queensland as well. I think they were going to use it up in Queensland.
So basically, you kind of drop 1080 around. I used to, I think, do it in carrots in New Zealand, right. And now these kind of large green pellets that they put some 1080 in, and they put some other things to attract pests. So in New Zealand, possums are a pest. Unlike here, we have the same possum, but you guys just bloody...
They're just as annoying.
Yeah.
But you got to be nice to them here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a thing where they shouldn't exist in New Zealand?
Yeah.
But they ended up over there?
Yeah. So in New Zealand, you can get possum fur.
How did you get the bloody possums over there? They swim over? I don't think so.
No, I think it was one of those things that's like, hey, if we bring these possums over,
they'll kill this
we
other
can
thing.
No, we can start like a little trade industry
right.
here. And then they just got out of control and started...
They were like, let's fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, in New Zealand, you get possum fur, like jumpers and stuff.
Okay.
Gloves. Really, really comfy and warm. Mm-hmm. They mix it with a bit of wool.
So it worked out well.
Possum pies. You little possum pie.
Oh,
yeah.
Which I've heard about. I've never actually seen one. I feel like in my lifestyle, I would have come across one yet.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just a thing that parents tell
kids. It's just an urban legend.
Yeah.
I was at the...
Behave yourself or you'll end up in a possum pie.
I was at the museum here in Melbourne a few years ago now.
Oh, mighty oh.
Yeah. Just, getting some culture.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
And I was strolled into this random little part where they had all this Indigenous art and artifacts and stuff. And some woman just come up to me and was like, here, put this on. and like put this gigantic coat on me. That was like a indigenous made coat of how the people who lived on the land used to make. And that was made of possums, possum fur. And it was the warmest thing ever. It's like this big, heavy, like fur, like I was in fucking Game of Thrones or something. Coat. It was really good.
I think they get them made in New Zealand now.
Right.
Because they can't actually kill possums, indigenous people, so they get them made and shipped over.
You've been chasing that warmth ever since.
Yeah,
Sophie?
basically.
New Zealand, baby.
Go to New Zealand. But can you buy a possum coat over there and bring it back to Australia?
Sure can.
Oh.
I got a weighted blanket this week.
Ah.
Just speaking of heavy, warm things.
Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's good. It's very heavy, though.
Yeah. How's your autism?
From the weighted blanket. Yeah.
Isn't that a thing?
It's calmed it right down.
Cut that if it's not a thing.
it's good. I think...
No, it is. It's designed to be relaxing.
Yeah.
If you're... so autistic children, I think, or autistic people get benefit from it.
Yeah, I think it basically just balances out with my flu shot. It's quite nice, but you can't really move once you're under it.
Right.
It's like making the beds become a real bloody workout now.
Oh. It's like doing those big ropes in the gym when you flip it.
Is it a double or a single?
It's just a single.
Yeah, right.
It's a bit too much exercise in the bedroom, if you ask me.
Yeah. Are you sleeping better with it?
I think so, maybe. I don't know.
I got some melatonin the other day.
Oh, yeah?
That's doing a pretty good job. Have you tried melatonin?
No.
Oh.
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. I bought it on the internet from a place called iHerb.
Oh, yeah, that sounds legit.
And then
was this a place on the clear web or the
dark web?
It was
the clear web. And iHerb in the US, but on my bank statement, iHerb Amsterdam. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, really, really helpful. But yeah, I've taken not every night, but every now and then if I want a good sleep. It's pretty good.
Cool.
All right.
I think having a bloody warm glass of milk at night does the same thing. It gets your body to release all those chemicals.
That much dairy this time of the night? What am I, some sort of bloody dairy smasher?
Yeah, I imagine how cooked his dreams would be.
Yeah, I can't have that kind of thing.
Anyway, this has been a big bloody sleepy shoey, hasn't it?
Yeah.
A big shoey of sleepy time tea.
1080.
Yeah.
Used New Zealand for a while now. Controversial.
Because it's not one of those good poisons that only kills what you want it to kill, right?
Kills anything that will eat it, basically. But the problem with New Zealand is there's a lot of terrain that's really hard to get to in a very small place. So the possums get up there, do their business, expand their population, and then go and eat all the kiwis and other things.
Yeah.
All the bushes, and then the stoats, I think, eat the kiwis. Rats do that, eat the eggs. So
everyone's got it in for the bloody kiwis, don't they?
I know, right? Then one of the problems in New Zealand with a thing like a possum or a stoat can do so much damage is for years there were no natural predators of anything. So like kiwis, just defenseless.
Yeah, it's a nation of snowflake animals.
Yeah.
A lot of participation trophies.
How bloody cute are they, though?
Yeah. Did you see that video that's done the rounds recently of a little baby kiwi finding a feed box that would
No.
someone put out for it?
I feel like I need to watch this, though.
And it got so excited it jumps around and falls over. It's really good. So New Zealand's ecosystem isn't really prepared for invasive species.
Yeah.
So putting this out there means that they can kind of kill things off that shouldn't be there while protecting the population. The problem is that if it's ingested by anyone else, anything else, it kills them too. The ratio of good to bad outweighs this is what the government want you to think. Good to bad is the poisons save more native animals than they do harm them.
Don't know, Jacinda.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then recently, about the last couple of years, as everything else on the internet, it's just been cooked into a big conspiracy.
All right. Tell us about it.
So the main one is that Agenda 21, which is the UN's agenda to take over the world, we looked that up and it was actually kind of positive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was about councils directing their bylaws and things in a direction towards helping with climate change.
Right. Yeah. That's not the one where they want to keep the population under a certain amount, is it?
I think that
was part
of it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But it wasn't by killing it, it was just by making sure everyone's educated around birth control. So Agenda 21, there's basically part of that now is 1080 in New Zealand to it's not really clear what. I think part of it is to get into the water supply, so we can't drink the water, and then that makes us reliant on other water.
Yep.
New Zealand's a really moist country.
Yeah.
A lot moister than Australia, which is
moist
dry.
country and a moist people.
Yeah.
Isn't there just a big bloody glacier up the top all the time or down the bottom?
Got a few glaciers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's probably at least one glacier in Australia, maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know if there is.
Yeah, no, maybe not, yeah.
You took them all.
Yeah. With all the possums.
Yeah, we got them in the country draft.
No, they should put the 1080p. Sorry, the 1080.
Well, I keep thinking about 6 skateboard tricks.
Oh, you 1080?
To a 1080.
They should just put the 1080 up the top of like the Franz Joseph and just let it melt down.
Right into the water supply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you time to get away.
So that's the kind of the main conspiracy, but it's really come up in the last couple of years of like if there's an article about it on the newspaper, all the comments will be just ban 1080, and kind of a coordinated campaign.
Yeah.
A lot of people suggesting not organic campaigns.
So the conspiracy about it being about population control or whatever, is that specific just to New Zealand? Because I don't remember ever hearing. The only thing I ever remember from Queensland when it was becoming a thing was it's just bad because it's going to kill a lot of native species. It's not going. It's indiscriminate in who it kills.
Well,
but I don't ever remember it being a cooked thing.
Yeah, I think a combination of 2019, where conspiracies are everywhere now.
Yeah,
but also a little bit of stats for you. New Zealand is the largest user of biodegradable 1080 poison. So biodegradable poison will, I think, in normal conditions, will kind of die and get back into the earth safely within 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
So which is what we mostly use in New Zealand. But New Zealand use 80% of the world supply.
Oh.
So I guess if there's one country using that much poison, you can see why people be like, hey, what are they using all that poison for?
For such a small country, that's a lot of poison.
Yeah.
Robbo, you suggested that the campaign against 1080 was not organic. Sounds like you've got your own little conspiracy theory over there, mate.
Well, no, some other people pointed this out.
Who would be benefiting from banning 1080? Like the other poison manufacturers?
Well, yes. Did you come across this guy?
No. Tell me more.
I'm skipping slightly ahead of my notes, but in 2015, the New Zealand police revealed that blackmail threats were being sent to Fonterra and the Federated Farmers, Fonterra, the big dairy company that owns everything, saying that infant formula in supermarkets would be poisoned unless the 1080 was halted by the end of the month.
Ooh.
So this person was like, I'm going to start poisoning things.
Yeah.
They
poison babies.
Yeah, poison babies. And overseas, like that's their big kind of export thing.
Yeah.
Fonterra responded by working with the ministry, and they started testing everything, heaps, just like, making sure there's going to be no 1080 getting to the infant formula. And then the police discovered it was a 60-year-old businessman named Jeremy Kerr. He pled guilty to 2 charges of blackmail and was sentenced to 8 years, 6 months in prison. Kerr, it turns out, had developed a rival brand of poison called Ferrotox and made the threats for financial gain.
Wait, so he just wanted to trash 1080?
Yeah. And then so he could sell it. So he made like $100,000 a year. So yeah, he was bloody... Oh, and sales for his Ferrotox were dwindling. So he was bloody making $100K a year.
Right.
But someone did Tina Nata, she blogs under the name The Non-Plastic Mary, went through all the comments of a 1080 story where people were basically... It was on Facebook, saying...
Her blog's good.
Oh, yeah, I've never read it.
Yeah.
She found that 32% of the comments were Agenda 21, human extermination for the New World Order, usually involving the Illuminati. 21% was saying that they wanted to control the world through food supply. 6% were saying eugenics. It was a eugenics project to create a master human race. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, you knock off all the bad bits.
So you think there's people in New Zealand that are maybe...
Well, if I was creating a master race, New Zealand's maybe not where I'd start, but whatever.
Well, you'd breed out the New Zealanders.
Yeah.
You'd want some All Black traits in there. Get some of the All Black traits.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. 5% said it was a money-making scheme involving the government New World Order. 4% said it was a money laundering scheme.
Oh.
So I think some government do own, or there's one council that wants to invest in 1080 making facilities, because the only place in the world is out of Alabama in the United States. That's where you have to get all your 1080 from. So I guess when I'm suggesting it's inorganic, it seems strange that some people in New Zealand are suddenly up in arms about New World Order, Illuminati.
It'd be interesting to see where their profiles were.
I'm not suggesting they're Russian, if that's what you're...
Who goes into business and is like, you know what, I want to develop shit that fucking just kills people. I want to develop a compound that when you feed it to something, it dies. There's money to be made in this.
Well, there is. Sometimes you got to kill things, Salty.
But like, do you have to be a bit of a fucking cooked unit to like think that's what you want to make your living on?
Oh, nah.
The death of something?
Nah, because sometimes there's too much of stuff.
Yeah.
So it does, if it kills an animal, and here's the sort of the big problem, the SPCA are against it, because when it kills an animal, it's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Yuck. Ugh. Look at that animal dying. Ugh. No, like it froths at the mouth, it thrashes about. It's pretty brutal. And if you watch any sort of anti-1080 things on Facebook, yeah, it's not cool. I don't particularly want to see too much more of it. Sometimes the eardrops have ended up straying off into other people's property.
Yeah.
So horses have eaten it and died. And cows have, and dogs. I think in Tasmania as well, dogs were eating it.
Right.
So that's a problem. That's not ideal. And that's where that kind of, the organic swells come from people like, fucking hell, don't do this. The dog's dying, which is fair.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
Other than, like, I don't know whether it's the YouTube algorithms and the clampdowns on right-wing YouTube channels. I found it really hard to find a lot of NWO conspiracies or Illuminati, Agenda 21 stuff. Even though 32% of Facebook comments were mentioning it.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Because have you seen a marked difference in YouTube since they said they cracked down?
Yes. My recommendations are no longer cooked.
Yeah, same.
If I'm looking at a cooked video, it used to be 100% of the time, the next one would be, here's something just as cooked. Now it's like, hey, here's some skateboarding, because you watched some skateboarding the other day. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm not on skateboarding mode now, YouTube. I'm in conspiracy mode.
Yeah.
You haven't noticed a change?
Oh, yes, I guess I have. I've probably thrown my recommendations out with other stupid things.
I did come across, while I was watching YouTube, stumbled across this as an American and thought you were talking about 1080p video quality for nearly a minute. So this person came in wondering why 1080p video quality was being likened to the New World Order.
There's probably something in that somewhere.
Yeah.
HD videos like mind control, because
Yeah.
it's so high resolution they can embed secret things in.
Oh, like now we're doing 8K. You could embed something in 8K.
Fuck.
Oh, you can embed so many things.
How much could you embed?
I guess with YouTube, the thing I haven't noticed is like, if I type something in, I don't struggle to find stuff. It's all still there. I know that a whole bunch of channels have been zapped. I've seen actual specific things get zapped, but you can still type in. Well, I guess we'll talk about this when we do cigarettes in a minute. I found some pretty cool shit today.
Yeah. What I did find was a lot of comments on the videos. I know one guy in one video I said, describe the possums, in 1984, where there's like, what do they call it? The Eurasian? Yeah, and we've always been at war with them. The enemy, the enemy that doesn't really exist. This person described possums as being set up like that in New Zealand.
Right.
So they've created this industry to like make everyone hate possums, but they're not really that bad. They're the enemy that we can't see. So we're like, which is ridiculous. You can see the damage that possums are doing if you grow a marijuana crop.
Yeah.
You see the shit out of it. Grow some outdoor, buddy. He also likened it to apartheid. And then he said we should probably get South Africa involved because they knew how to highlight apartheid as being bad. We need the same kind of highlighting around 1080 use in New Zealand.
Right.
We need a boycott of any band that's playing 1080 gigs.
Yeah.
They need some revolutionary possum leader to stand up.
And then I watched this long video with the Fortean? No, Fullerton something.
Oh, Fullerton.
Yeah, Fullerton Bulletin? No, that doesn't. Thinking of something.
They're missing a trick.
Yeah. Anyway, it's this guy does a pretty cooked YouTube channel, meat and potatoes conspiracy stuff, but he was interviewing a New Zealander, and it wasn't really clear who the New Zealand guy was. I think he might have just been like a guy that called up. And there was a real... New Zealanders love telling a story of something, like a little yarn, oh, you seen what they're doing with the 1080? Oh, mate, saw it up the thing, it's horrible. And this American guy is all like, well, what are they doing? What are the NWO doing? Yeah, are you having droughts? How's your food supply? Are you stocking up on rice and beans? This guy's like, I don't know. Like, what do you... He's like, do you have discount stores in New Zealand? He's like, yeah. Yeah, so you want to go get some rice and beans, stock up, because things are happening. They're taking your guns off. Wow. We don't really have any. But he also said... he was talking about being part of the agenda was spraying the population with pesticides, and they're going after the food supply with these sprays. So the host doesn't even understand what the issue is.
It's a pellet-based delivery system.
But
Fullerton Bulletin.
Then they started getting into how Peter Thiel lives in New Zealand, and like rich people are building bunkers in New Zealand to get away. And the guy on the phone was talking about Pink. We just had Pink the musician. We've had Katy Perry come here. All these people coming over apparently to do a concert. And then they just start looking at property. They all do it.
Yeah,
They all do it.
it's beautiful countryside.
And then the host says, sounds to me like the Illuminati.
Yep, that's who I'd put together for my Illuminati.
Katy Perry,
Pink, and Peter Thiel.
Yeah. I want to have entertainment.
I think Serge from System of a Down lives in New Zealand now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's outside Auckland somewhere. A little
See,
spot.
he's very anti-Illuminati, though.
Yeah. So fucking myth busted.
Yep. He also suggested there's a eugenics program happening in New Zealand. I'm not sure what to, but it's probably happening as a result of 1080. And then the host asked the guy if there's anything else happening. And he said that methamphetamine is a huge problem. Where's it coming from? And the guy's like, I don't know. And then the host is like, the government's probably bringing it in. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the host asked him, but what about 5G? You getting 5G there yet? And the guy's like, I don't know. I don't really know what this is.
We got 4G.
Yeah. But that was an hour and a half, and that was the only real thing I could find on it. There's other videos that were talking about 1080 and the New Order, but only in the title of the video.
Oh, I hate that.
And then it's just...
Why don't they bloody crack down on that?
Yeah. Just lots of dead animal things.
Fun.
A guy in New Zealand died in the 60s. I think it was the 60s, after eating 1080. And you know how...
That was his first mistake.
Died from eating poison, you say?
Yeah. And it's one of those things that they wheel out, the anti-1080 people are like, look at these examples about this guy that died in the 60s that was covered up.
Can't have been covered up too hard if you know about it, Robbo.
43 years ago. When would that have been? 60s.
Sure.
No, even later than that. Anyway, so the government says no one's ever died of 1080. This guy died after eating 1080 that was in a jam jar in the cupboard. And his wife found him, and then the coroner allegedly said it was 1080, and then the government's never owned up to it.
Right.
Killing anyone.
Don't keep your 1080 in a jam jar.
Yeah. Did he think he was just putting a bit of bloody nice strawberry conserve on
It's not really clear. To be honest, it sounds like he's committed suicide.
Yeah.
Like...
That'll do it.
It seems like a really sus thing, and his widow's like, I don't know, how that got in there, and I don't know. No, he doesn't normally eat 1080.
That's true. It's out of character.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's 1080. Doesn't seem to. It's pretty awful. I don't love it.
Yeah.
That's not the worst one, I think, though. I know that in Australia they were like, well, what if we use this stuff instead? And it's like, oh, it's actually quite a bit worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, Australians are renowned for going, why don't we just bring in this other creature to kill that creature? That'll be fine.
We should get toads into New Zealand, is what you're saying?
Get some possum toads in.
Yeah.
Shall we take a little break?
Yeah. You guys don't have anything to add on 1080?
Shall we have a little smoke break, boys?
Oh, Siggy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit down. I could use a picture.
about darts, boys.
The bar game sport that I used to play?
No, the good ones. Little fucking coffin nails.
That is the good ones.
Yeah, pub darts is fucking good.
180!
You're right.
Oh.
Dog next door's barking.
Yeah. You know someone just fucking scored a 1080. He's loving it.
Darts, I had a bloody vivid dream last night that I smoked a cigarette and I woke up bloody grumpy at myself.
Right.
Right. Because you're a reformed smoker.
I am.
How long did you smoke cigarettes for?
From like 18 to 23.
That you, Robert?
Yeah, from teenagey to 30, maybe?
Right. Why'd you start? Because you thought you'd be cool?
Yeah, I was cool. I was hanging out with the cool kids, and that's what we did.
I started because I correctly determined that it would be cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was right.
But I started properly when I started working hospitality.
Right.
Like the only way you got a little break, little dart out the back. So you're doing these dishes, gonna go have a dart.
I noticed. Did you notice when you quit smoking that there's so many fucking things in life where you just have to stand around waiting for shit?
Yes.
That cigarettes are the perfect solution to those moments.
Waiting on a train, smoke a ciggy.
Yeah.
Why don't you just replace it with something else?
Going
Fucking
on,
jerking off or
I
something.
can't jerk off in front of waiting for a train.
You say you can't, but have you tried?
Yes.
Going on a
Can't do it again.
Going on a long drive.
Yeah.
Just little cigarette.
Bang some music on. Fucking some road snacks.
Yeah.
Stuck in traffic. Salty. It's
Yeah,
like, there's
crank the
traffic's
music.
not moving. Just
Check your phone.
No, wind down the window. Get close to your fellow humans instead of putting this barrier up.
You're at a party. You're standing around in the kitchen. What are you going to talk to each other? You're going to smoke a dart.
I'd say, fucking, if you're going to do that, go outside.
Wow, this is a time when it was okay. Yeah. It is weird seeing TV shows and stuff where people are smoking, but inside, man, people used to smoke inside. Gross.
So, going to the pub now, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, when you go see a band.
Yeah.
And you can come out and you smell the same as when you went in.
I used to remember coming home from gigs and like taking my shirt off, and as it goes over my head, just wanting to vomit because it stunk so much.
The weird little nightclub out the back of Larson's Tavern in my hometown of Westport, when the smoking bans came in there, it made us realise how gross Larson's Tavern was. You like looking around like, I can see the walls, and they're a bit gross. People smell really gross at 3 o'clock in Westport on a Saturday night, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's not a pleasant series of smells going in there.
No. So the conspiracy theory we're talking about today, though, is that cigarettes are good.
Yeah, good for you.
Not just good for you, but damn right healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is not the actual conspiracy of cigarettes, which is that for many, many decades after they knew that they were very, very bad for you, the cigarette industry continued to put it out there that they were good for you.
Yes. No. This is the conspiracy is that they are actually good.
And the fucking Big Pharma is trying to keep you from realising that.
What did we find out about this one?
There's a few big proponents of this. McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
Was into
I
it.
saw he tweeted it. John McAfee, the founder of McAfee Antivirus.
Yeah.
Is he dead now?
No, he's still alive, but
is he in jail?
I think he's not in jail, but there may be some governments that, if he arrives on their doorstep, they'll be like, we've got a spot reserved for you, Mr. McAfee. Right. He's like a big crypto guy now.
Yeah.
He's kind of like if Elon Musk was more cooked.
Yeah.
And less rich. Right. But also pretty rich.
I saw there was apparently Farage made some sort of comment in favour of this, like Nigel Farage, or a lot of people have made comments like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Farage's one was vague and it was kind of tied into big pharma and stuff, but it wasn't explicitly saying puff away, you'll be happy. Let me just double check that, by the way.
But the main guys that mainly when you're pushing the idea that cigarettes are not that bad for you or whatever, it's because the cigarette industry has paid you to do that. There are some people out there who are not being paid though. Yeah. Or if they are, it's not by the cigarette people.
And it's one of those things where It's one of those things where there's like a little bit of basis in reality and science, but not enough that people should be latching onto it as well as they should. Like, there are a few things that smoking a cigarette can help, but like the 1080 thing, it doesn't outweigh the negatives.
So nicotine by itself isn't bad as such. It's the act of smoking nicotine.
Yeah,
like there are good uses, positive uses for nicotine. Smoking it and cigarette, not. There are no good things other than de-stressing. People say having a cigarette, if you are a smoker, can help your overall mood.
Yeah,
but it's not a long-term solution to your overall mood.
Yeah, no. But that's not a stress reduction. That's a addiction. Suppression, right?
Yeah. I found what Nigel Farage said.
Yeah.
Turns out that is pretty cooked. So the World Health Organization, he said, just another club of clever people who want to tell us what to do. Ignore. This was after a smoking thing came out,
right?
And
so
then
at least he's coming at it from like the fucking dumbest position.
Hang on, I've got another comment. In an interview, a journalist said he asked Nigel Farage why he's taken up cigarettes again, and Farage said, "I think the doctors have got it wrong on smoking."
All right,
there you go. Fucking double down on that one.
Yeah.
Like, at least the first one's just dumb.
Yeah.
It's like, that's just a dumb Nigel Farage thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is like, I think the doctors have got it wrong. No, the doctors pretty much got it bang on, I think.
Yeah, and there are a lot of people that are like, the bloody do-gooders. My auntie smoked for 40 years and she lived to 120 or whatever. But yeah, that's the least dumb position you can take.
Yeah. One of the interesting health things I read was that people who smoke are less likely to get ulcerative colitis, which is like a bowel inflammation thing. But people who smoked are more likely to get Crohn's disease, which is like ulcerative colitis on fucking steroids. It's like the same thing, but fucking way worse. So it's like, you smoke, you're not going to get this one thing which is pretty bad that you have to live with for your whole life. But you could get this thing that's similar but way worse, which you have to then deal with for your whole life. Plus all the cancer and shit.
But you look cool.
But, yeah.
One of the proponents, Laura Knight Jadzik. Did you guys come across her?
No.
I did not pronounce her last name correctly. I apologise for any Jadziks out there.
Yeah, unless you cook, then...
Well, but they won't know if you're mispronouncing their name.
Good point. Yeah. She's a big proponent of this, along with many other cooked things. But she says that smoking does not cause lung cancer. There is even anecdotal evidence that it protects against lung cancer. Smoking can protect against neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and it can reduce the psychiatric, cognitive, sensory, and physical effects of schizophrenia. I'm not sure about any of that. I don't know enough about any of that to dispute it. It feels wrong to me. The lung disease one, I'm confident saying, dead wrong.
Yeah.
I think, then she says, one study conducted in Swedish children observed that children of smokers had lower rates of allergic rhinitis, allergic asthma, eczema, and food allergies. Again, I don't know enough, but I don't think that's right. I imagine asthma, especially. I used to have asthma when I smoked, and it was awful. It's the worst thing for it.
Wait, so what is she saying about asthma? That
kids of smokers are
less likely to have asthma.
Yeah.
Isn't that because if you're a smoker and your kid has asthma, you would quit smoking if you were a good person?
Maybe.
So you're just statistically, you're going to have less smokers will have less kids with asthma just because they stop?
Or is it because you smoke, so your lungs are getting fucked? So when you have a kid, your kid's lungs are genetically just stronger. So they come out and they're like, yeah, fucking super lungs over here.
One of the things that people always bring up, and she kind of has that, she brings this up, is Hitler was a fervent anti-smoker and a crusader for the anti-smoking cause. So the governments are trying to use smoking, to... Like they don't want people to smoke because it's actually good for the population. You want to keep the population down, just like Hitler.
Right.
And that's why he was a big anti-smoker.
I've got a bit of Hitler gear.
What do you got?
I checked out a guy called, I think his name was Tony Rocha.
Oh, yeah.
Or Tony Rocker.
Yep.
He is
Joey Rocker.
Joey Rocker. He's mainly a flat earther.
Right.
But he branches out into a bit of tobacco gear every now and then. His point is that smoking cigarettes is not actually bad for you. It's the cigarette butts.
Yes, I saw that.
see that, yeah. Big filter.
Yeah, so it's just in the filter because there's like fiberglass in there.
Right.
So
he said shards. There's little shards in the filter that get into your lungs.
So I watched. I think there's like one viral video of him that went around. I watched his like video about it was about cannabis and the pyramids. But I was like, this was just like a random video of his that I watched to like get an idea of what it was about, and he still dropped in the smoking stuff.
Right.
He's like, I only smoke cannabis out of a wooden pipe like the Native Americans.
Right.
And the same with tobacco because it's in the filters of the cigarettes. It's fiberglass shards they get in your throat. And then it's also because you get lip cancer just because you've got the shards like rubbing on your lips.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Hitler, I was looking at the comments of his video and there was an old Mark, some guy called Mark from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Was like, great video, really inspired me to do my own video. I don't know why he's got that voice, he's Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, great video, really inspired me to do my own video.
Better.
Jumped over to his channel. Whoa, the old Hard J coming out. I think there was one video that was just called Jews, Jews, Jews.
Whoa, triple threat.
Yeah. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I checked that one.
What point of this did you give him the benefit of the doubt? When he started saying smoking was good for you, when he was complimenting the person who said smoking was good for you, or when he had the video Jews, Jews, Jews?
Well, I thought maybe he's like going to be Jews, Jews, Jews. But I just clicked on one of his videos at random. He's like, villain to some, hero to others. Adolf Hitler.
Oh.
I was like, all right. I think I've got your measure. He was like, he had a weird Merv Hughes moustache.
Okay.
Oh, I'm into this now.
Yeah. I was like, no, we've got to keep this away from Salty. We'll just get completely black-pilled on anti-Semitism just because of this guy's epic moustache.
How old was he?
Like in his 40s, 50s.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so a lot of people say that Hitler was a good example. She goes on to say, when you connect the dots through medicine, science, history, psychology, and sociology, the truth emerges plain as day. The all-out global propaganda campaign against tobacco is part of the same push for full-spectrum dominance over humanity. The war on terror and tobacco are tied in because, I don't know, while we're being encouraged to eat GMO foods and stop tobacco. I actually looked up Hitler's views on smoking.
Yeah.
He was pretty anti-smoking, but he didn't want to stop it because a lot of German cigarette firms were going bankrupt. So he wanted to keep smoking in Germany and not from other countries.
Right.
He began attacking the tobacco industry for having foreign and Jewish connections and competing with German-owned cigarette companies. Also, he wanted to... No, that was it.
Yeah.
So he was anti-smoking...
That's on brand for Hitler.
Yeah, he was anti-smoking racistly.
Yeah.
Not for any other reason. The Native American one, the Joey Rocker video, he gets into that a lot. You know, Native Americans use peace pipes and their incidences of lung cancer are crashing and they're so healthy. It's not true at all. The opposite's true. It's really bad, and there's a big problem with cancers in Native American people. He also looks at the studies on actual nicotine, sans smoking it and sans with everything else, and then conflates that into smoking's good because all these studies say, but the filters aren't part of the study because they're full of shards. You'll study them.
So, in terms of so the nicotine is what's not that bad.
Yeah, so nicotine is a substance, I don't think...
Which is in tobacco.
Yeah.
So, when you see people fucking in Cuba making these hand-rolled cigars out of tobacco leaves, does that mean that people should be just fine to smoke them then? Because it doesn't have all the extra chemicals and fiberglass shards?
Burning and inhaling smoke is not good.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is.
Right.
Well, regardless of what it is, that's true.
Yeah, I think inhaling hot burning shards of anything.
Yeah.
Shards is a wrong word because then it puts that onto the fiberglass thing, but particles.
That's why you use a bong, chill that water down.
Right.
Yeah. And like vaping, I think is marginally better, but it's also still not good.
It's just vapor, man.
Yeah, but I think there's also chemicals to make it vapor, which aren't good.
And it's not illegal. Not illegal to vape, mate.
Never said it was. Cam, you're going to become a vape guy?
Yeah.
How good would that be?
He was probably super excited when you showed him that vape shop coming soon sign
Yeah.
the other day.
Vape shop opening up down the road. I asked one of my friends who started vaping how into vaping are you getting? And my other friend's like, don't start him.
Right.
Turns out he's super into vaping. He's got a crazy bubblegum flavors. He's also got an energy drink flavor. Famously,
guarana in it? Or?
I don't know, but it's famously one of the worst smells.
Yeah.
It's energy drinks. Everyone hates it. Yeah.
Vaping. It's like all of the good stuff of smoking, but none of the coolness.
What's the cool part to you?
Like you breathing fire.
Yeah.
You got a little fire. You got something on fire in your hand.
Haven't you seen those cool...
All right, Seinfeld.
Is that a Seinfeld?
It's a Seinfeld bit.
The cool...
you know what? I think in my defense, I probably got that off one of his stupid books rather than from seeing it on TV.
How is that in defense of you?
I was just saying, it would have been printed on me when I was a kid and I read the Seinfeld book like 5 times.
What's the Seinfeld book, like a biography?
Yeah, it's like...
Never read it.
I just have a memory of reading the Seinfeld book and the Tim Allen books.
Right.
Multiple times.
I made a good Tim Allen joke when we were constructing some IKEA furniture and we were using a drill. And I said, look, I'm Tim Allen. Let's go snort some cocaine in the 70s. Little Tim Allen gear there for you.
I was expecting an Allen key joke.
Yeah. Or this drill's not working right. I need more power.
Yeah. Nah, just get more cocaine.
More cocaine.
Yeah, just kicking a bloke while he's down. Good one.
He's had his chances.
All right. Anything more about cigarettes?
The other person I saw was a guy on YouTube called Ian Dunbar, who's likened the way people treat smokers to racism.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem, and that's really unfair on smokers. He also says it's healthy.
Is this the 1080 apartheid guy?
No, different guy. But so this same guy, I had a look through his channel, and he has a couple of things on meditation.
Right.
And the first video, he talks about how meditation is a good way to get all the bad things from Eastern religions, all these things that go against God, and they're probably demons, Hinduism and all that stuff's going to get into your body if you're meditating. But meditation itself is actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. So his version of meditation is lying on a bed.
Smashing a diary?
No, he just lies on his bed, meditates. He said, sometimes you can drift off. It's okay.
So this is unrelated to his diary.
Unrelated to his diary
views.
So his method of meditation is just having a little nap?
It's 100% having a little nap. But you get the same benefits of meditation. Right. You don't get all the Eastern boogeymen in there.
Yeah. Which is a good point.
It's a very good point. Everyone take a little nap.
Yeah. At about midnight every night, I might just go have a bloody big old meditate. See you in the morning.
Good 8 hour basically the Dalai Lama right now.
Yeah. Last night, bloody hell, I may as well have been.
Good meditation?
The amount that I slept.
Yeah, nice. I'm not anti his meditation views, but I'm anti his smoking views.
I'm pro his meditation views.
Yeah.
I feel like the meditation people have had a good racket for long enough.
Yeah.
Infecting everyone with their Eastern demons.
Yeah.
Oh, it's bullshit though. It's just like, pay $100 for this meditation course. What? To have a little snooze.
My brother's currently on a bloody meditation odyssey around the world.
Right.
But they're free as long as you then in the next one you go help out in the kitchen. Right. So he's just doing that, traveling around the world. He's going to come back fucking riddled with Eastern
we're gonna need to
Asian demons. We're going to be like, Dan, you need to lie down and take a proper nap. Yeah. Proper meditation, sorry.
Alrighty.
All right, so cigarettes bad.
Yeah, I think so.
1080 not good.
Not good, but
seems to be serving a purpose.
Don't keep it next to the jam.
Yeah.
Don't keep it next to the jam.
Also, kids don't smoke. It's not cool.
It's not cool.
That is not cool.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's listening to this to me like, well, the arbiters of cool, the Hypothebod boys, I better start smoking.
Well, I feel like Salty and I are collateral damage and Cam's bloody
self-burn.
Yeah.
I think
I'm pretty cool.
I think it's fair damage. Robbo, if people want to see all your cool opinions, where can they do so?
At Ale of a Time on all internets. If you want fermentation, food stuff, Instagram, Ale of a Time, Twitter for dumb opinions, Facebook for beer stuff.
You can get me at Saltmarsh on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram for various stuff, Twitter for less frequent various stuff. Andrew Saltmarsh Illustration on Facebook for my art. Check out Toe Hider on Patreon. We just made our goal for the first time on Patreon.
What's your goal?
3,000.
Jeez.
Nice.
Bill Gates over here.
Just because one person upped their pledge. I think it just got us over. I think that might have been why he did it. I'm not sure.
Nice.
But come and check that out. There's a lot of music and art on there.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Check out our Patreon.
Oh, yeah, that as well.
Just quickly, on Ale of a Time, both you and Mike are on the next episode, Mike from Toe Hider. So
there you go.
Check that one out.
Yeah.
Recorded at the little
Dark
event
Mess.
we did.
Yeah.
That was a good event, wasn't it?
It was good.
Yeah.
All right. You can find me at...
You didn't come along, Cam?
No, because, well, for one thing, it was in Thornbury.
Yeah.
I thought it was in Footscray or something. I was like, oh, that's easy to get to.
Well, we both managed.
Yeah, I managed.
All right. You can find me at Sexenheimer on Twitter. Don't need any more guff, thank you, boys. At Sexenheimer on Twitter.
There's enough guff on his Twitter.
Gather around me on Facebook and various podcasting things from other podcasts. You can hear our new app all about Sometimes They Come Back, the Stephen King film.
Cool. I'm into that.
Yeah, Sometimes They Come Back.
Yeah. And where can they find us?
Oh, yeah.
I can never remember.
Hypothepod on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Spotify.
You already found us.
Stitcher.
So.
But if you're on one... let's say you've ended up on a shitty podcasting thing like Apple Podcasts.
Yep.
If you want to jump on Spotify, we're there as well.
Yeah.
We're in all of the places. All right. I think that's it. I think that covers it.
You think that's it?
And Patreon.
And Patreon, yeah.
And cookedunits.com for merch.
Yeah.
Lots of things. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Hit the bloody off button.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, well, we want to thank our listeners first.
Yeah,
thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Don't worry about a thing, except if all our world leaders are alien reptilians. I said don't worry about a thing, except maybe the fluoride in our water supply contains mind-altering drugs. Don't worry about a thing, except whether or not Port Arthur was a false flag operation in which to disarm Australia. I said don't worry about a thing. I accept you can definitely hear John Lennon say I buried Paul at the end of Strawberry Fields Forever. Ooh, don't worry about a thing, except not only did Bush do 9/11, but he also keeps the planes out in Area 51, which, let's not forget where all of the aliens are. Don't worry about a thing, except Donald Trump is clearly a woman and you're just blind if you can't see that. Why don't you open your eyes?